I love to make people laugh, not just talk about things where I was a little boy, you know. We talk about the economy today, but the economy when I was a little boy growing up in Chicago was bad. I mean, very bad. I mean, we had the week station, we had an hour one per week, and all the way down, we just had regular food. I remember a friend of mine said, hey, Buddha, we got Captain Crunch. I'm like, so I got not for sale. Because I thought not for sale was the name brand. That's all we could afford. That's all we could afford. We didn't have cereal. That's all I'm saying. Cereal, you know. I said macaroni, cheese, I said macaroni. You know, my mom had to get the cheese from the government place. She had to buy the cheese. It was real bad. I remember one time, I thought my mom bought some of a raisin bran. I'm like, hey, what was going on? She said, baby, Chinese, I got up there. She was like, oh, what was a raisin bran? I said, what is a raisin bran? You better flip them books about this cereal. Ain't no raisin bran up in this house right now. But y'all, hey, everybody like the clumps, Eddie Murphy the clumps, everybody. You know Eddie Murphy all the clumps and that. Yeah. I do a lot of impersonations like, you know, the man Eddie Murphy. Let me tell y'all something about Sherman. See, Sherman ain't nothing but a big old fat little jelly thing. See, that's how Sherman is. And see, I would take Sherman and I would turn Sherman into a big old car wash. Because he gonna keep on messing with me because this gonna be the future. You gonna see how Sherman is. Boy, I love it so much. I love it. People love it. They love me too, but I love it. And people love it. You love the best. Ooh, it's a wonderful thing. I don't know what the hell going up here. But love ain't nobody that I know. I love Sherman. I'm going to tell you how I love it. Love the one that all day. Just wonderful. When you get the stuff all wrapped up and worked on, and meet a man and get the love and hump, you love it. It's so beautiful. We don't talk about those high-level relations. We got children over here today. All these wonderful kids out here. Y'all some wonderful kids. But y'all know, I got to get ready to get up out of here. We're going to bring the next person to the stage now. We have Fallen by Miss Shelly, by Miss Alicia Keys. Everyone, Shelly here. Miss Shelly. But y'all have a wonderful night. I knew y'all got to get out of here. Y'all be blessed. Y'all remember again, y'all say a prayer for my family in Haiti. Y'all give it up for the people here. For Somalia, y'all give it up. Come on, give it up for family, everybody. Now, in the words of Brother Simmons, God bless you. Good night.
Okay, guys, I'm singing a song about say, you know American Idol is? So you know American Idol, you don't have music, so kind of doing the same thing, but I know y'all probably know this song, so when I start clapping, will y'all start clapping with me? Is that cool? Okay. Our people calling sometimes I love you.
last year. Emmett Till thought it was a threat of calling so-called free speech to a white girl. Young and eager, promising boy did not realize that that would accompany his joy. Because you see, back in that time, it was nothing but a sheer privilege to be in the company of the majority. That's nothing but a delusion, and how I see that, being the minority. Even though this young handsome man was beaten until he died, his mother did much more than cry. She wiped her eyes and went to seek justice for this heinous act, yet did not walk when he prevailed. For so long, our people, black people, were thought to be ignorant, uneducated, ignorant, and belligerent, hence the slang word used sparingly, derived from Negro. In honor of our ancestors first, and me being a black woman, I will not curse this audience with the word we all know so well. But luckily, Webster's pulled their dictionaries from the shelves and removed the word as well. I decided to start from the middle ground because before Emmett Till's death, black people had 2 feet on the ground. Dr. Daniel Hell Williams, 60 years before Emmett Till's death, was the first black man with success who strategically opened another man's chest. He preserved life with a slit of a surgical knife, pulled his flesh and bones apart to revive and suture that young man's heart. That story, that name, that doctor, that fame buried for decades because the only thing black people should have carried back then was shame. 100 years before Emmett Till's death, a slave unnamed was robbed for his best, creating a cotton gin. Though Eli Whitney, slave owner, is the one who got it patented. Thinking logically, why would Eli really care about those brittle, bleeding, bruised fingers from removing cotton from the seeds? It sounds like a Negro came up with that idea to me. For so long, our black men were beaten to submission, weak and manipulated while the women were working in the kitchens, showing their beaten, bruised bodies to a point that their son was taught. The slave master was superior and will forever be their boss. Taught that black people were dumb because we were unable to learn, not knowing that we are smart because we are not unwilling to learn. Within 20 years before Emmett Till's death, Eugene Bullard, unlike the rest, was the first African American to receive the Legion of Honor, France's highest. Back then, African Americans couldn't serve, shouldn't dare try to carry a torch for the Army Air Corps. And now, 90 years later, Mr. Barack Obama is the Commander-in-Chief of the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, and Air Force. I thought I'd tell you what happened before enforcement of the law, but now to let you know what Emmett Till's death caused. Especially since the white man who murdered him were acquitted from this crime, the civil rights movement encompassed this time. That's when Martin Luther King rallied his ever-so-many team of all kinds of men and women, not just black, that marched with this man and had his back. And through misfortune and poverty, so many black people solemnly locked up in penitentiaries, indulging in all enemies, and it was Mr. P. Green instead also real. He went to jail because he was a felon. Martin Luther King went to jail because he had a dream. Though it was also hard, Thurgood Marshall made his mark, Colin Powell went too far. Malcolm X, though so perplexed, stood up to recognize his mistakes, and in black history, he still holds his place. Along with Condoleezza, the first African-American female to be Secretary of State, black people who met and surpassed the stakes, and that though, just like Bill Gates. But you know what? That's not surprising. Black people stressfully tested, and yet we stay rising, and that's something you call fate. Believing in something bigger than what you can see. Harriet Tubman made that apparent to me. She held no degree or professional knowledge, just her good faith and sense ensured that people in that underground railroad sure followed. So where there be welcome among our black leaders this day, I want you to know my firm belief that faith and prayer led the way. For so long, mentally, emotionally, physically stripped from our flesh power, one thing we can never be stripped from is God. Madam C.J. Walker, Oprah Winfrey, Rudy D, everlasting impact. Check out their feedback. Cicely Tyson, Hattie McDaniel, Angela Bassett, they wouldn't drop a piece of clothing for Academy Award and reign of fame. Look how far they've come in the game. Successful black athletes, I'll share with you their names. Jackie Robinson, Jackie Jordan Kirsten, Billy Thorpe, Tiger Woods, even Samuel Marbury made it about the hood. Mistaking that blacks are only promising in sports for Cornel West, Denzel Washington, Alice Walker, they extracted that point. These African Americans were formed after Emmett Till's death, are reputable, accomplished, esteemed, and in my eyes the best. And it was said that we shall overcome, but now we have overcame the ignorance, the shame, and the chains. Now we don't dance unless we hear music, or scratch our heads unless it itches. We will not be intimidated with hatred, brutality, or switches, or whips, or tree lips, or nooses. We're not clueless to how we can succeed in being strong oak trees. An ignorant man said he couldn't stand a black man being president. He said he was counting down the days till Mr. Obama was elected out of office. Took 365 days and times it by 4 to equal to the inauguration date, 1,460. 19 days to equal to the day that he made his statement, so at that point it was like 1,441 days to go. I thought that was pretty funny, not humorous, but I thought that ignorant man should know that the suffering of a black man was 146,000 days. 146,000 ways of keeping up us our race. And he was stripping about 1,441 days of a black man in the president's place. I wanted to scream. But because of Emmett Till's death that led to Martin Luther King's dream, I didn't give him the satisfaction my intellectual breed. I just looked at him and smiled as if we was old chums, while thinking to myself, life is hard enough already, it's even harder when you're done. I could speak all day, but the message will be known that Rosa sat so we as black people could stand and go pro. To be doctors, lawyers, professors, teachers, and engineers. No longer will we sit with fear, no more bloody tears, no more wondering why we're here. Because we're citizens, right? We all come from a grounded line, strong genes, well respected. Robert Starkworth, honoring there, worked for the prestigious Procter & Gamble, was one of the first black quality inspectors, may he rest in peace. He nor other relatives, yours or mine, have missed this true moment in history to shine. So I'm proud that I can tell my sons, all of them, that they determine their worth as they become strong black men. I'm proud I can tell my daughters the sky is the limit, and yes, they can if they are in it to win it. So now 50 years plus since Emmett Till's death, God showed up, he showed out, and we have always been truly blessed.